Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be testing out brand new makeup. I'm just going to be trying it on, get ready with me style. So it is going to be a first impression, but I plan to do a wear test as well. So we'll kind of see how everything holds up throughout the day. And before we get started, if you enjoy makeup reviews, especially ones that are not sponsored, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. Okay, so first up, we have some brand new palettes from Flower Beauty, and these took me by surprise when I saw them on the Ulta website on Sunday. Their actual website has been down for quite a while now. There's a message from Drew Barrymore that they were like working on some new things and they were taking a little bit of a break. I have no idea what's been going on because that was months ago. So I was really shocked to see them actually releasing new product. I'm not sure if these are going to be at CVS yet, but they're definitely available on the Ulta website. I don't believe Ulta stores carry Flower in store anymore, so you do have to order them. Thankfully, mine showed up intact. They did add some bubble wrap, so I was happy to see that. But these are basically sister palettes to the Jungle Lights and Desert Lights that they have released previously, and those are some of my favorite palettes at the drugstore. Jungle Lights had some like brighter jewel tone colors, and then Desert Lights was more on the neutral side. So here we have Garden Lights, which has really pretty pinks and purples and neutrals, and then Coastal Lights, which is more pastel-y kind of vibes. So I just love that they're expanding this collection, and I just want to quickly show you some close-ups and some swatches. And the formula of these palettes is definitely something special for the drugstore. In each one, you have 6 shades, and they're all shimmer shades. Not all of them are super metallic. There are some that have that more shiny finish, and then there are others that are a little bit more on the satiny side. So the satiny ones are usually what I'll use in my crease, and then I'll use a shimmer shade on my lid. These are also just great for one and done shadows if you just want to pick one and slick it on your lid and you're good to go. But these truly have a buttery feel to them, and I know that that's an overused word when it comes to describing eyeshadows, but it really just, I think, speaks to how smooth these are, and they just glide across your skin like liquid metal, and they just make such an impact. They remind me a little bit of Sydney Grace's shimmer shades, just in how like buttery and soft they are and how foiled and metallic they look on the eyes. These aren't ones that you have to wet them to get them to show up. They just show up beautifully right on their own. So I'm so excited about these. I love both color stories. I think both of these are right up my alley. So I can't wait to test these out. And what I wanted to do is first show you guys with the Garden Lights palette how I apply these, because in the past I got some questions asking like, how do you use a palette with all shimmers when there are no mattes? So I wanted to kind of give you guys some little tips and tricks and how I do it. And I'll just do like a look on each eye. It's going to look a little unbalanced, but I just want to give you guys some examples and some inspiration for using this palette. So I'm going to go ahead and just zoom you guys in and let's get started. Okay, so on this eye, I think I'm going to do something with this deep maroon or burgundy shade and the purple. I think that's like a really pretty combination. And this shade down here is one of those more satiny finishes. So I'm just going to pick it up with a large fluffy brush, which is one option that you can do with these. It's just going to sheer it out and make it a lot less deep than it looks in the pan. So I'm just going to go ahead and start working this into my crease. And you can see right away, it's not nearly as deep as it looks in the pan itself. If you were to just put this on with your finger, it would be a little bit darker, but using a fluffy brush shears it out quite a bit. So I think it's going to make a really, really nice crease color. And because it doesn't have like a lot of glitter or shimmer in it, it's more of a satiny finish. It really ends up looking somewhat matte on your lids, not completely. Like if you look up close, you can see a little bit of the sheen. But I think using just shimmer shades on your lid can look really, really beautiful. It's something a little bit different that I feel like not a lot of people do. So once I have that blended, then I can take a small little flat brush like this one. This is from BK Beauty and it's their 209 brush. The fluffy one I was using is their 201. So I'll just go back into this same color and just pick this up, and this is going to be a little bit more concentrated for the outer corner. So then I'll just go ahead and like pack this on. So you can see how this color just changes a little bit depending on what brush you use. Then I'm just going to take the Sigma E24 brush and just kind of blend out the edges of this a little bit, but I'm going to try to keep what's in the middle just looking a little bit deeper and more vibrant. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of the NYX glitter glue. I do recommend using a glitter glue with these palettes because they do sometimes have a little fallout. You don't have to, but if you don't, then I would just wait to do your base or your under eyes. So that way you can clean up anything that does fall. But I like using this because it's really sticky and everything just kind of grips to it. So now I'm going to pick up this lavender shade right here. This one's called Iris and it is so gorgeous. And just look at like how metallic this looks right off the bat. These shadows are incredible. And I'm just gonna pat this on my lid with my finger. You can use a flat brush to do this as well, but I just feel like your finger makes a little bit more of an impact. All right, so that's one quick look using this palette. Now I'm gonna do the other eye with this green right here. I'm gonna start out with this in the outer corner. And I'm gonna do this one a different way. Instead of blending it with a fluffy brush, I'm just gonna pat this on the outer lid with my finger, and then I'm just gonna blend the edges. And this is gonna give it a little bit more depth, so it's not gonna sheer out quite as much. So I'm coming into about the midpoint of my lid and just keeping the rest at the outer edge. Then I'm gonna take that Sigma E24 brush. It's just a flat brush, but it has a little bit of fluffiness to it. And I'm just going to blend the edge of this, but I'm not gonna touch the middle part. Just gonna soften this a little bit. Then there are a couple of options that you can do here. You can take this light pink shade, which I might do, or you could just keep it neutral and use that one. But let me try the light pink first, because I think this is gonna look really pretty with the green. Again, just putting a little spot of glitter glue here, just to keep it from going everywhere. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Such a beautiful combo. And here's what that one looks like. So I like the combo of the green and the pink, but if you wanted to do like the copper, I can show you what that looks like. I'll just put it on top of the pink one really quick so you can see. And this one I think just gives it more of a neutral look if you want that instead. But that's basically how I use these palettes, and every look that you're gonna get with these is going to be very shimmery, very metallic. So you have to be somebody who likes that type of shadow. If you have a lot of texture on your eyelids, these are probably gonna enhance that. So if you're not comfortable using like really metallic shadows, then these probably are not for you. And another way that I sometimes use these is I'll just dip into another palette and do like a base look with matte shades like my crease and my outer corner. And then I'll just pick up one of these shimmer shades and just use it for the lid. So there's really a lot you could do with these, but I think the shimmer shades are just so beautiful and so worth it, especially at the drugstore. So I think I'm just gonna take these off really quick, and I'm just gonna do a look with the Coastal Lights palette really quick. All right, so let's go ahead and try a look with this one. I really wanna try this blue. So the difference with this one is that on the top row, it has all satin shades. So you get 3 shades that aren't super metallic. So I think for those of you who maybe don't always wear these really shiny shades, you have some options in this one that are a little bit less intense. So that's just something to keep in mind. The only one in the Garden Lights that's like that is that deeper burgundy shade. And in the Coastal Lights, they're all lighter colors that you can put just across your lid. So I kind of like that. But today, like I said, I really want to try this blue. I think it's so beautiful, but I think I'm going to just deepen the outer corner first with this deep gray shade right here called Tide. Again, I'm just gonna apply my glitter glue all over the lid first. And I'm gonna pick up this deeper gray shade and just pat this on my outer lid. This one is a little bit more metallic, so I'm just gonna keep it mostly that way and just blend like the top edge into my crease. All right, so using that Sigma E24, just gonna soften the edge of this really quick along the top. All right, then I'm gonna pick up this shade in the middle called Aqua. So, so beautiful. And I have to say, this one isn't super metallic either. It's not a satin like the ones in the top row, but it's also not nearly as intense as the ones in the Garden Lights palette. So this one is a little bit different in that it's a little softer, but this shade is gorgeous. I don't wear blue on my eyes that often, but I really love a softer blue. I think this is so pretty. All right, then I'm just gonna take a little bit of this blue and go along my lower lash line. It's just such a pretty soft color. And this is another reason why I would wait to do your base products, especially if you're putting these on the lower lash line, because like I said, they're a little soft and sometimes there's a little tiny bit of fallout. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some mascara. I'm gonna be using the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Tubing Mascara, one of my favorites lately. It is a little bit on the pricier side, but it is so good. Okay, so here's the final eye look. I just feel like it came out very soft and ethereal. I really, really like it. So moving on, let's talk about this new foundation from R.E.M. Beauty. This is called the Sweetener Foundation, and it comes in like 60 colors, so it really was not easy to choose a color. I don't even think I got the right shade, to be honest with you. I picked Light 1N, which is a neutral undertone, and the reason that I chose that is because a lot of the cool undertones these days, for some reason, they're making them peachy. And I don't normally look for something peachy because that's usually on the warmer side. Like I really want pink. So I thought maybe neutral would be a better option. I feel like this is a little bit yellow for me, but I just want to take a quick look and I want to share some of the claims with you really fast. So I just pulled it up on my phone. It says it's clinically proven to hydrate instantly and for up to 4 weeks. I don't even know how that's possible. You're going to be washing it off at the end of the night. It has their Hydra Smooth Essence with raspberry leaf extract and hyaluronic acid spheres. It also has niacinamide to help brighten, correct dullness, and reduce the look of pores. It claims to have a natural matte finish. It has 60 shades. And they said 100% of subjects experienced improved hydration after 24 hours and that it made their skin look and feel moisturized, nourished, and supple. So I feel like that's kind of interesting since it's more of a matte foundation. I have really dry skin, so I'm curious to see how this is going to wear on me. At the moment on the Ulta website, it has like 4.9 out of 5 stars. Everybody seems to really love it. So I have high hopes for this one, but let me just show you packaging up close. To me, it's an interesting looking bottle. It reminds me a little bit of like one of those Zippo lighters that people had back in the day. Do people still have those? I don't know. I don't know anybody that smokes these days, but back when I was growing up and I was in my 20s, I felt like a lot of people had those Zippos, and this is just what it reminds me of. Like I said, I do think this color is a little bit too yellow for me and maybe even a little bit too light, but we're gonna try to make it work. And it has a very moussey feel. So it's very lightweight, but at the same time, it has that drier, moussey texture that normally doesn't look very good on my skin. So I'm a little bit nervous for this one. It really doesn't feel that hydrating, even though that's what it's claiming. So I guess we'll have to see. I'm just gonna pump a little bit on the back of my hand, and then we're gonna use just a beauty sponge to apply it because I think that'll probably give me a little bit more hydration, hopefully. All right, so let's see what happens. I do have my skincare on. I'm not gonna apply primer. I just want to put it on bare skin to see how it looks that way first. It's supposed to like blur your pores and blur fine lines and wrinkles. And it seems to have like pretty good coverage. I would say it's straight out like medium, could probably even build this up to a more full coverage. And it's one of those foundations that just kind of sinks right into your skin immediately. It's very thin and it doesn't like sit on top like some dewy formulas do. But so far I think it's looking okay on my skin. It is freshly moisturized, so hopefully that's gonna help a little. I think the coverage is phenomenal. For me, it's just right. I don't like something that's like super heavy full coverage. I also like a foundation that I feel like I don't have to layer up a million times. Like one layer is just giving me a really nice finish. I can still see some of my freckling and dark spots poking through, but I don't normally want to completely hide them all the way. So here we have like one side of my face with the foundation and then without. Looking straight on, like in the camera, I do think it's a little tiny bit light for me, but the color isn't terrible. I probably could just go up maybe like one shade. It's even sticking to my nose really well, which normally foundations don't do. Usually I can see the redness and I still have to go back in and add some concealer. This is covering up the redness with no problem, even with a sponge, which is amazing. And so far, I don't see it sitting in my pores or fine lines. It just kind of glides over everything. In some ways, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Catrice True Skin foundation. I love their concealer, but the True Skin foundation had this same kind of texture, but I felt like it made my skin look so dry, and this one is not. at least so far, but we are gonna wear it throughout the day. Things could definitely change. All right, so I know I'm already kind of zoomed in. I'm gonna zoom you guys in even closer and we'll take a really up close look. So I have to say, up close, this looks freaking beautiful. Like, I am really impressed. When I first swatched it on my hand, it did look a little bit dry, but the skin on my hands is drier than my face, so I suppose that's to be expected. But on my skin, it just looks really, really smooth. And I also think when I put it on my hand, I may have applied too much. And I think the trick with this foundation is to go in really light layers. I barely picked up anything on the Beauty Blender, and you really don't need a lot. I think it's important with this one to just go in very, very sparingly, and you can always add more to certain areas if you need to, but I just was picking up the tiniest dab off my hand with the Beauty Blender, and really that was enough. And I didn't feel like I needed to go in with a second layer at all. It was really just perfect what I put down. So far I'm incredibly impressed with this and just how natural and skin-like it is. It also doesn't stay like dewy or sticky, so it dries down nicely, but it's not dry. So this could be the first R.E.M product that I'm really, really impressed with. I've tried some other things. I like their liquid eyeshadows. Those are pretty good, but I've just kind of felt like the rest of the line was very meh. So as of right now, I love this. And if it looks just this good in, 8 hours or so, whenever I check in next, it's definitely going to be the foundation that I reach for when I want a little bit more coverage. Normally I'm wearing like skin tints on a, regular basis, on an everyday basis, but when I want more coverage, this is beautiful. All right, moving on for cheeks, I wanted to talk about these Cali Ray Super Bloom Lip and Cheek Soft Stains. So I did talk about this one. This is the shade Dawn Patrol. I was wearing it on my lips in my last video when I talked about the new Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. And like ever since I got these, I have been using them nonstop. So these are actually not a first impression, but I just wanted to kind of share them with you because I love them so much. So these come in little tubes that kind of look like a lip oil or a lip gloss, and they have the big chunky doe foot applicators that we see in a lot of different lip oils these days, like the Dior ones and the Milani ones. And they're calling these a soft stain because the colors that they come in are just really sheer. They're not like the lip stains of the past that come in just these bright, bold, like cherry red or bright orange kind of colors. So I love that these are just very wearable for those of us who like neutrals. And they also have a really nice soft texture. They're not one of those ultra drying stains that are full of alcohol. They go on actually feeling kind of like a cushiony gloss, and that feeling of hydration stays as you wear the product. So especially on your lips, that's a really good thing. And I actually brought these two shades on my vacation last week, and I was wearing them every single day, both on lips and cheeks, because they're just so easy. And the color sticks around for a while because they're a stain. So I love that. I could just put them on and go. Even when I went to remove my swatches, you can see that they do leave a little bit of a stain behind, and I had only had them on my arm for less than a minute. So the longer they sit, the more that they're gonna stain. And I wanted to use the shade Wildflower today, which is more of a soft, cool tone pink. I just wanted to use it for my cheeks. I think it'll go really well with my eye look. And I wanna show you how I apply these because there's a little bit of a learning curve with the cheeks because they dry down so quickly and then they set and stain. You wanna work a little bit faster with these than you would with other cream blushes. With the lips, it's kind of like self-explanatory, and I do have other lip products that I'm gonna try out today. So what I like to do is I just put a little dot and then immediately blend. I usually just use my fingers because it's quick and easy, but if you have a sponge or a brush, just have it like right nearby and then go ahead and blend it really fast. But like, see how soft and subtle this blush is? I got the two lightest colors. There are two colors that I think are a little bit deeper than this, but they layer beautifully if you want to build them up. And even though they have a little bit of an emollient feel, I don't find them to be overly sticky on the cheeks. Like once you blend it out, they just leave the tiniest little bit of dewiness, but it's not anything that like bugs me. You guys know I hate sticky cheek products, but these are not like that. So you can see how they also just give your cheeks a little bit of glow, and there's no glitter or shimmer in these at all. The glow just comes from the fact that they're hydrating and they're just giving your cheeks like a little bit of moisture. So I definitely recommend these because, like I said, I used them every day on my vacation, and I did bring other makeup with me, but I just kept using these because they were so easy to just dot them on my cheeks, put them on my lips. It perfectly coordinates and goes together. I don't have to think about like, okay, what blush color am I wearing? What lipstick should I wear? It's just so easy. And I got this one that's a little bit more cool toned. And if I was wearing like a warm eye, then I would use the nude color instead. Honestly, I like any product that just makes my life simpler, and these definitely do. So I'm actually thinking about going and picking up the other two colors that they come in. So anyway, love those. And then next up we have the new Milani Fruit Fetish lip oils in the nude shade. So if you guys didn't know, these Milani lip oils are some of my favorites in my collection. These and the NYX ones are just the best because they have a little bit more of a thicker, more cushiony texture. Some lip oils, I feel like you put them on and then they disappear in a couple of minutes and they don't leave a lot of hydration behind, but these are just so much more hydrating. They remind me a lot of the Dior lip oils, so they're a really great affordable alternative for those. But the colors that they came out with before were like a little bit brighter and more fun, kind of summery. So these are all really gorgeous nudes for the fall. So I wanted to quickly just try all of these on. We'll take a look at all the different colors, and the packaging looks basically the same as the original ones. You can see the color of the product through the tube, which is really nice. It just makes it easy when you're grabbing it. And they have that really large doe foot applicator, like it's really oversized and chunky. That's the same applicator that the Dior lip oils have as well. And I just find it really, really comfortable to apply them. And I think these colors are beautiful. They smell exactly like what the name is. For example, cacao smells like chocolate. Honey fig has this really sweet honey scent. It's beautiful. The blackberry agave smells like blackberry, so you get the idea. And I think these colors are just perfect for fall. They're really sheer, really pretty. So I just want to go ahead and try them all on, and that way you can see what the colors look like on. I think it's a lot more helpful than seeing swatches. So I'm going to start with the deepest shade first, which is cacao, and kind of work my way back to lychee because I think this is probably the color that I'm going to actually wear today. So let's see what this one looks like. It looks super deep brown in the tube, but like I said, these are very sheer. It smells heavenly too, and I am such like a chocolate lover, so I can see myself wearing this one a lot. But yeah, this is cacao. Next we have blackberry agave. This one looks kind of like a brick red shade in the tube. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty too. It's kind of like a red for those people who don't like to wear red. It's just so soft and subtle. So yeah, this is pretty. All right, this one is honey fig. So this is just like a lighter kind of caramel brown color. This is beautiful. It's a little bit more subtle than cacao, but if you still want like a nude or neutral lip, it's really pretty. And they honestly all smell really, really good. All right, this is the last one. This is lychee, and this one is more of a pinky nude, which I figured would probably work the best with the look that I have today. Yeah, this color is beautiful. Wow. It's not as bright of a pink as the ones that they had in their original collection. So I think this is the perfect pink if you're doing any kind of a nude look. All right, so anyway, let me just fix my hair and we have the final look. What do you guys think? I am really, really impressed so far, especially with the foundation. I feel like that was a huge shock to me because I swatched it yesterday and I was just kind of feeling like it was gonna be really dry on me, but so far it's not. Also, I love the lip oils. I think every single color looks so pretty, maybe not necessarily with this look, but I can't wait to wear them this fall. And also, I mean, the palettes are amazing. So I'm excited for those. I already know I love these Cali Ray lip and cheek stains. So I am just gonna go ahead about the rest of my day. I'll be back later around somewhere between 8 and 10 hours from now, and we'll see how everything is holding up. So I will see you guys later. What's up, guys? It's been about 8.5 hours since I tried everything on, so I definitely wanted to give you guys my final thoughts. So far, eyeshadow, I think, is still looking really good. I maybe see a little tiny bit of fading, but honestly, it looks pretty close to the way it did when I first applied it. Now, knowing what I know about this formula, having used it for a couple of years now, I can say that it definitely is longer lasting if you use something like the NYX glitter primer, or just any primer underneath is going to help these last longer because they are very soft shadows, and without a primer they do tend to wear away a little quicker. So I just recommend, if you want it to last like mine did, to get like the NYX glitter primer or something similar, and that's just going to help them grip to your eyelids a little bit better. As far as the foundation goes, Guys, I am so impressed with this. I was not expecting to love it nearly as much as I do. It is absolutely fantastic. I did do a quick check-in in natural lighting around the 4-hour mark, so I want to show that to you guys really quickly. And in natural lighting, it looked just as good as it did in my studio lights, but the only thing that I noticed is that it seemed to be wearing away a little bit on my cheeks, and I think that's probably due to the blush and not the foundation itself, because this blush is a very emollient type of formula. So I think that the dewiness of this may have broken down the foundation on my cheek area, because the rest of my face looked totally fine. And I would say that my nose and my chin are usually the first places that foundation wears away. So usually foundations last the longest like on my cheeks and forehead. So I'm gonna blame it on the blush, but I definitely have to wear it again just with a powder blush or something different than this to confirm that. But things that I love about this foundation: it's so smooth, it's not drying at all, it didn't oxidize or turn any type of funky colors. Like the color that it went on is the same color that it is currently. I love that it stuck to my nose really well, and I didn't feel like I had to go in with concealer anywhere. I mean, it just had great coverage and just looked so skin-like and really natural. So I love this. I think even if you have dry skin, it is definitely a winner. And I can see oily skin people liking it too, because it's not greasy. It has more of a matte finish. So I think if you're dry, as long as you're moisturized really well beforehand and maybe apply it with a damp sponge like I did, it'll probably look amazing on you. So it's definitely worth a try. Also, when it comes to the Milani lip oils, I really am loving these. I did reapply the lychee color again just because it's a lip oil. It doesn't last that long. So within an hour or so, I had to reapply it again, but it's not really a big deal because I kind of expect that from a lip oil. But I just love these colors. I think they're absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to keep wearing them into the fall. And then also when it comes to the Cali Ray lip and cheek stains, I still love these, even if it did kind of make my foundation break apart a little bit. I was wearing these mainly with skin tints and products that are really sheer anyway, so I didn't really notice it doing that. I noticed it more with this foundation because it has such good coverage, and it made everything look so seamless and smooth. I could really tell when my blush was wearing it away. But if you're wearing something more sheer, like a skin tint, tinted moisturizer, I think these pair perfectly with something like that. I think next time I wear the R.E.M, I'll probably just either use a cream blush that has a powder dry down or just a powder blush. I think that would just work better. But I still love how quick and easy these are for just those no makeup days, and on my lips they are beautiful as well. So I still stand by my opinion on these. I just think I probably shouldn't have worn it with this foundation. So anyway guys, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more unsponsored honest makeup reviews, go ahead and just click on my playlist right here, and I have a bunch of my recent videos that you could check out next if you have some extra time. And I want to thank all of you so much for spending time with me and for clicking on this video. I really truly appreciate it so much. I hope you'll consider hitting the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Take care guys. Bye.